Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 2, Text 18. Tataha Jagat Mangalam Achyuta Amsham Tata Jagan Mangalam Achyutamsham Samaahitam Shura Sutena Devi Samahitam Shura Sutena Devi Dadhara Sarva Atmakam Atmabhutam Dadara Sarvatmakam Sarvabhutam Kashta Yatha Anandakaram Manastaha Kashta Yathanandakaram Manastaha Tato Jaganmangalam Achyutamsham Samahitam Shurasutena Devi Dadhara Sarvatmakam Atmabhutam Kashta Yathananda Karam Manastaha Tato Jaganmangalam Achyutamsham Samahitam Shurasutena Devi Dadhara Sarvatmakam Atmabhutam Kashta Yatanandakaram Manastaha. Taha thereafter Jagat Mangalam auspiciousness for all living entities in all the universes of the creation. Achyuta Amsham, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is never bereft of the six opulences, all of which are present in all his plenary expansions. Samahitam, fully transferred. Shura Sutena, by Vasudeva, the son of Shurasena. Devi, Devaki Devi. Dadara, carried. Sarva Atmakam, the supreme soul of everyone. Atma Bhutam, the cause of all causes. Kashta, the east. Yatha, just as. Anandakaram, the blissful moon. Manastaha, being placed within the mind. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktivinoda Arvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Thereafter, accompanied by plenary expansions, the fully opulent Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is all auspicious for the entire universe, was transferred from the mind of Vasudeva to the mind of Devaki. Devaki, having been initiated by Vasudeva, became beautiful by carrying Lord Krishna, the original consciousness for everyone, the cause of all causes, within the core of her heart, just as the east becomes beautiful by carrying the rising moon. Can you repeat the translation? Thereafter, accompanied by plenary expansions, the fully opulent Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is all auspicious for the entire universe, was transferred from the mind of Vasudeva to the mind of Devaki. Devaki, having thus been initiated by Vasudeva, became beautiful by carrying Lord Krishna, the original consciousness for everyone, the cause of all causes, within the core of her heart, just as the east becomes beautiful by carrying the rising moon. Purport. As indicated here by the word Manastaha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead was transferred from the core of Vasudeva's mind or heart to the core of the heart of Devaki. We should note carefully that the Lord was transferred to Devaki not by the ordinary way for a human being, but by Diksha, initiation. Thus, the importance of initiation is mentioned here. Unless one is initiated by the right person, who always carries within his heart the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one cannot acquire the power to carry the Supreme Godhead within the core of one's own heart. The word Achyutamsham is used because the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Shad Aishwarya Purna, full in the opulences of wealth, strength, fame, knowledge, beauty, and renunciation. The Supreme Godhead is never separated from his personal opulences, as stated in the Brahma Samhita 5.39. Ramadi Murtishu Kala Niyamena Tishtan. The Lord is always situated with all his plenary expansions, such as Rama, Nrisimha, and Varaha. Therefore, the word Achyutamsham is specifically used here, signifying that the Lord is always present with his plenary expansions and opulences. There is no need to think of the Lord artificially as yogis do. Dhyanavastita tat gatena manasa pashyantiyam yoginaha. Yogis meditate upon the Supreme Person within the mind. For a devotee, however, the Lord is present, and his presence need only be awakened through initiation by a bona fide spiritual master. The Lord did not need to live within the womb of Devaki, for his presence within the core of her heart was sufficient to carry him. One is here forbidden to think that Krishna was begotten by Vasudeva within the womb of Devaki, and that she carried the child within her womb. When Vasudeva was sustaining the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead within his heart, he appeared just like the glowing sun, whose shining rays are always unbearable and scorching to the common man. The form of the Lord, situated in the pure, unalloyed heart of Vasudeva, is not different from the original form of Krishna. The appearance of the form of Krishna anywhere, and specifically within the heart, is called Dhama. Dhama refers not only to Krishna's form, but to his name, his form, his quality, and his paraphernalia. everything becomes manifest simultaneously. Thus, the eternal form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead with full potencies was transferred from the mind of Vasudeva to the mind of Devaki, exactly as the setting sun's rays are transferred to the full moon rising in the east. Thus, the rising in the east, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, entered the body of Devaki from the body of Vasudeva. He was beyond the condition of the ordinary living entity. When Krishna is there, it is to be understood that all his plenary expansions, such as Narayana and incarnations like Lord Nrsimha and Varaha, are with him, and they are not subject to the conditions of material existence. In this way, Devaki became the residence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is one without a second and the cause of all creation. Devaki became the residence of the Absolute Truth, but because she was within the house of Kamsa, she looked just like a suppressed fire or like misused education. When fire is covered by the walls of a pot or is kept in a jug, the illuminating rays of the fire cannot be very much appreciated. Similarly, misused knowledge, which does not benefit the people in general, is not very much appreciated. So, Devaki was kept within the prison walls of Kamsa's palace, and no one could see her transcendental beauty, which resulted from her conceiving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Commenting upon these words, Sri Viraraghava Acharya writes, Vasudeva Devaki Jatarayor Hridayayor Bhagavata Sambandha. The Supreme Lord's entrance into the womb of Devaki from the heart of Vasudeva was a heart to heart relationship. Thus ends the Bhaktivinoda purport and translation to Canto 10, Chapter 2, Text 18 of Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. In the past few verses, we saw how Lord Krishna, he made his appearance from Devaki. So it is described in the earlier verses. Avivesha amsha bhagena mana anakudundubehe. So earlier also it was indicated, Avivesha amsha bhagena, the Lord uh, entered mana anakudundubehe, entered the mind of Vasudeva, who is referred as Anakudundubi, amsha bhagena, with all his opulences. So his Krishna's opulences includes both material and spiritual. Krishna's opulences include not only material and spiritual creations, but also his incarnations and expansions. So that is referred as Amsha Bhagena. Another meaning of Amsha Bhagena is the Lord with his full six opulences, Shad Aishwarya Purna. So that is why Bhagavatam describes particularly the appearance of Lord Krishna as Shad Aishwarya Purna. The Lord is referred as Shad Aishwarya Purna Bhagavan. Krishna is endowed with all six opulences in fullness, Purna. In fact, if at all there is a technical difference between Krishna and his incarnations, the only difference is Krishna manifests all the six opulences in fullness, but Krishna's expansions and incarnations manifest only a portion of the six opulences of the Supreme Godhead. In the second canto of Bhagavatam, it is described whatever is needed for the incarnation for executing a particular purpose or task, only that much opulence or power of the Supreme Lord is manifest. And when a portion or a part of the Supreme Lord's complete opulence and power is manifested, then they are referred as expansions or incarnations. Particularly incarnation. So in the incarnation of the Lord, he does not display all his opulences and power. But as Krishna, he displays all the opulences of the Supreme Godhead in fullness. Therefore, Krishna is referred as Shad Aishwarya Purna Bhagavan. So, that Supreme Lord, he appeared in the mind of Vasudeva, entered the mind of Vasudeva. And continuing the description here, it is said once again that Achyuta Amsham, in this verse also, as in the earlier two verses before, Amsha Bhagena is used. And here Shukadeva Goswami is using another expression called Achyuta Amsham, referring to the Lord with all his opulences. So Tataha Jagat Mangalam Achyuta Amsham. Tataha, thereafter, Achyuta Amsham, the Supreme Lord, with all his plenary expansions and incarnations and all his six opulences, Jagat Mangalam, the Supreme Lord, who is endowed with all the six opulences, and Jagat Mangalam, who brings about all auspiciousness to the entire universe. Sama Ahitam, he was transferred. Sama Ahitam, transferred. Shura Sutena Devi, he was transferred from the mind of Vasudeva to the mind of Devaki. Shura Sutena refers to Vasudeva, and Devi here refers to Mother Devaki. So, Sama Ahitam Shura Sutena Devi, Lord Krishna, full in all his opulences, who brings about all auspiciousness to the entire universe, was transferred from the mind of Vasudeva to the mind of Devaki. Because earlier we saw Krishna entered the mind of Vasudeva. Now Vasudeva is transferring Lord Krishna from his mind or heart to the mind or heart of Devaki. Dadhara. Therefore, Devaki is now carrying Krishna. Who is that Krishna? Sarva Atmakam Atma Bhutam. Krishna is further referred here as Sarva Atmakam. The Supreme Soul of everyone. Prabhupada also translates this word as the original consciousness of everyone. Sarva Atmakam. Krishna, who is the original consciousness of everyone. Sarva Bhutam, who is also the cause of all the bhutas, cause of all causes. So that Krishna, the Dhara, Mother Devaki was carrying, and naturally, Purna Anandakaram, she became very, very beautiful. How much beautiful? So the example is given here, Yatha, just like Kashta. Kashta means the eastern direction. So Kashta Yatha Anandakaram, just like the eastern horizon becomes beautiful by the rising of the moon. Similarly, Manastaha, when Mother Devaki, into the mind of Mother Devaki, when Krishna entered, she became very beautiful, like the moon rising from the eastern horizon. So this is what Shukadeva Goswami is describing about Krishna's appearance. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada makes a very, very important point. Prabhupada says that Manastaha indicates the transference of Lord Krishna from the core of Vasudeva's mind or the heart of Vasudeva's mind to the core of the heart of Devaki. And how did this happen? This happened by a transcendental process, not by physical transfer. Not by physical transfer. And that transcendental process is being described or defined as initiation or diksha. So Prabhupada says like, we should note carefully that the Lord was transferred to Devaki not by the ordinary way for a human being, but by diksha or initiation. So Krishna was transferred from Vasudeva to Devaki by the process of initiation. Thus the importance of initiation is mentioned here. Unless one is initiated by the right process, who always carries within his heart the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one cannot acquire the power to carry the Supreme Godhead within the core of one's own heart. So that means without initiation, you cannot receive Krishna in your life. Another important point Prabhupada makes from this sentence is, to deliver Krishna, you require to carry Krishna within your heart. And to receive Krishna, again, you require to acquire that necessary qualification to carry Krishna within your heart. Now let's come to the first part. To deliver Krishna, the spiritual master himself has to be possessing Krishna, carrying Krishna with him. So, unless one carries Krishna, how can one deliver Krishna? Therefore, the spiritual master or the pure devotee of Krishna is actually carrying Krishna always within him. That is described by Lord Brahma in the Brahma Samhita very nicely. Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena santa sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti yam shyama sundaram achintya gunasvarupam govindam adipurusham tamaham bhajami. So here it is described, Santa sadaiva hridayeshu. Santa means the pure devotee of the Lord. What kind of devotee? What kind of Santa? Santa means a devotee. But what kind of devotee? There are so many devotees in the world. But what kind of devotee? Prema Anjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. One whose eyes is anointed with the pulp of love of Krishna. His eyes is filled with love for Krishna. He is always Krishna conscious. Always Krishna conscious. He is not conscious of anything else other than Krishna. So that is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita also. Yara Jangama Dekha Na Dekha Thara Murti. Sarvatra Ishta Deva Spurti. Sarvatra Deke Ishta Deva Spurti. A pure devotee of Krishna is always seeing Krishna within and without, within himself and outside himself. So when he sees a building, a tree, or a mountain, or a river, or a human being, or an animal, whatever he sees, immediately he sees Krishna. He does not see anything other than Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada gives a very nice example in this regard. How this is possible? How is it that he is seeing Krishna? Is it a sentiment? Is it some imagination? Is it a hallucination? See, Krishna is here in the altar, but there are others sitting here. There is also mat, there is also some cushion, there's a stool, so many things are there. How is it that he is seeing Krishna? Is it some hallucination? Some imagination that he is seeing Krishna everywhere? No. So, Prabhupada gives a very nice example in this regard. Just like a mother, when her small child is not in her presence, or say a child, suppose 3 years old, suppose 5 years old, the child has gone to the school. So when the mother is away from the child, whatever object she sees at home, which is connected with the child, it reminds the mother of her dear child. It is very natural. So the mother may see a toy, immediately it will remind the mother, oh, this is my child's toy. The mother may see the child's dress, oh, this is my child's dress. Immediately, instantly. It's not an exercise, it is natural. Now, what is the phenomenon happening there? How is it that the mother is able to remember the child immediately? By seeing some toys, some clothes. So the principle working here is love. Because the mother has love for the child. So much she is absorbed in love of her child that instantly she is reminded of her child. Exactly like that. How is it that we can remember Krishna always? Somebody may ask, justifiably, how is it we can remember Krishna always, 24 hours? If I'm worshipping Krishna, I'm doing puja to Krishna, I can remember Krishna. I'm doing Sankirtan, I can remember Krishna. I'm chanting Hare Krishna, I can remember Krishna. But I'm doing business, how can I remember Krishna? I'm engaged in some other work in the act of cooking, how can I remember Krishna? I'm working in a factory, how can I remember Krishna? I'm doing some household work, how can I remember Krishna? Yes. If we develop love for Krishna, we can remember Krishna. So the secret is love. If you love Krishna, then you will see Krishna everywhere, factually. It is very easy to remember Krishna if you love Krishna. Otherwise, it becomes a exercise. It becomes mechanical. It becomes a kind of activity. Some kind of process it becomes. See, for the mother to remember her child, it's not a process. It's not an endeavor. It is not an exercise. It is natural. Similarly, for the devotee of the Lord to remember Krishna is natural. It's not by exercise or by sadhana. Is it a sadhana for the mother to remember her child? Always she is remembering the child. Wherever the mother is. Like that for the devotee of the Lord, wherever he is situated. The Lord may be in Goloka Eva Nivasati. Lord may be in Goloka Vrindavan in Vaikunta. But he is not separated from his Lord because of love, deep love. Also, one more explanation Prabhupada gave, it is not artificial to remember Krishna in this world. In spiritual world, Krishna is there. What about this world? Same example. When the mother sees the child's toy, clothes, immediately it reminds the connection of her child. Exactly like that, this entire world is creation of the Lord. All the people whom we see around us, they're all part and parcel of Krishna. Is there anything which is disconnected from Krishna? Either in the material world or in the spiritual world, everything is connected with Krishna. Nothing is disconnected from the Lord. Therefore, it is not a sentiment or a hallucination or some imagination that the devotee is seeing Krishna when he sees this world, when he sees a mountain. Because the mountain, the river, the sky, the people, nothing is disconnected from the Lord. It is the Lord's creation. They are very intimately connected with the Lord. Shakti Matur Abhedaha. The Vedas describe the energetic and the energy are always connected. They are not disconnected. The Lord is there and the Lord's energy is there in the form of this material creation or even the spiritual creation. That is spiritual energy creation, this material energy creation. So, Shakti Matur Abhedaha. There's no difference between the energy and the energetic. As much as there's no difference between the sun and the sunshine. There's no difference. For the sake of analysis, one may break up to understand the sunshine, the heat, the fire, the light, and the sun for the sake of understanding analytically. But actually, the sun means it includes sunshine. Sunshine means heat and light. They're inseparable. Similarly, the Lord means Lord's creation. They cannot be separated. So, the pure devotee of the Lord is able to remember the Lord always because of his intense love for Krishna. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. So such devotees of the Lord carry Krishna within their hearts 24 hours. There's a very nice reference uh, in the Bhagavatam first canto. Yudhishthira Maharaj, in addressing Vidura, he glorifies Vidura in this way. It's a very famous verse in Bhagavatam. Bhavad Vida Bhagavatas Tirtha Bhutani Swayam Tirtha Bhuta Swayam Vibho Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani Swa Antastena Gadabrita. So here Yudhishthira is telling, glorifying Vidura in this way. He is saying, Bhavad Vida Bhagavatas. Bhavat Vida. Oh, my dear Vidura, addressing Vidura, Bhagavata, you are certainly the greatest devotees of the Lord. Tirtha Bhuta Swayam Vibho. So he's saying, devotees like your good self are verily holy places personified, because you carry the personality of God within your heart. Swa antastena. Swa antaha stena. Gadhabrita. Gadhabrita refers to Krishna, who is holding Gada in his hand. Gadhabrita. So Swa antastena Gadhabrita. Because Swa antastena Gadhabrita, you carry Krishna within your heart. Because you carry Krishna within your heart, therefore he is saying, Tirthi kurvanti tirthani. You actually make a certain place a place of pilgrimage. Therefore he is saying, Tirtha Bhuta Swayam Vibho. Therefore, my conclusion is, my opinion is Tirtha Bhuta Swayam Vibho. He is addressing Vidura as, O Lord, because he is carrying the Lord within his heart. So Tirtha Bhuta Swayam. Wherever you go, you purify all the places, because you are carrying Krishna within your heart. Therefore, you're able to purify every single place where you go. Therefore, Tirtha Bhuta Swayam. You yourself are holy place personified. So the pure devotee of the Lord is able to carry Krishna within his heart. Therefore, sanctify every place, and everything which comes in contact with the pure devotee of the Lord becomes purified. That is why the word Guru, Prabhupada explains one place, the word Guru means heavy with Krishna consciousness, heavy with transcendental knowledge. He is able to deliver Krishna. He is heavy with Krishna consciousness. He is laden with Krishna consciousness. That's the meaning of the word Guru. So such a pure devotee of the Lord, if we can contact, then they, through the transcendental, mystical process of initiation, can transfer Krishna into even our hearts, who are normal human beings, conditioned souls. So this process is defined as Diksha Vidhana. In the Bhagavatam, what is this process is technically defined, very nicely defined. Yata Kanchanatam Yati Kamsyam Rasavidhanataha. Rasavidhanata means alchemy process. Rasavidhanataha. Chemistry. Rasa means actually chemistry. Rasavidhanata means by an alchemical process. Yata Kanchanatam Yati Kamsyam. Kamsyam means bell metal. So when bell metal comes in contact with mercury, or you mix mercury with bell metal and initiate a process, alchemy process, then Kanchanatha, you get what is called as gold. So when you mix mercury with bell metal in a certain proportion, in a certain alchemy process, if you initiate, then the result is gold. you get gold. Kanchanatam. Yatha, similarly, Tatha Diksha Vidhanena, by the process of initiation, Dvijatvam Jayate Nrina. A human being can become transformed into a Brahmana, Dvija, or he can get a second birth, begin his spiritual life through the process of Diksha Vidhanena. So, through the process of initiation, we can actually purify our consciousness and create a platform for receiving Krishna in our heart, in the core of our heart. Make a preparation. Just like if we have to, when I remember when we were building this temple, we had to make the altar, obviously, and then make the platform. And then we made the design. Then we thought what we would put there and create one asana for the Lord to come and one Prabhavali, etc., etc. So like that. So we have to create a platform for the Lord to come. So we have to create a platform in the core of our heart to receive Krishna. That preparation is called Diksha Vidhana. When you follow the rules and regulations given by the spiritual master, then actually you become qualified to receive Krishna. One place Prabhupada explains actually hearing from the spiritual master is Diksha. Reading books written by Srila Prabhupada, if somebody is reading Srila Prabhupada's books every day seriously, he is actually initiated. Technically, is initiated by Prabhupada. Because Diksha means receiving Krishna consciousness, becoming Krishna conscious, awakening our sense of Krishna consciousness. Diksha means to reawaken our original Krishna consciousness. That is Diksha. So if you have become Krishna conscious by coming in contact with Prabhupada, that means he is the initiator. He has initiated that process of awakening Krishna in your heart. Now, Krishna is already there. Somebody may say, Krishna is already there. But he is dormant. You have not awakened that sense of Krishna in your life. When you awaken that sense of Krishna or awaken your Krishna consciousness in your heart, and whoever has been cause of that awakening, he is your spiritual master. He is your spiritual master. So when you contact a bona fide spiritual master, this is bound to happen. This is bound to happen. You must become Krishna conscious. This is the test of having approached a bona fide spiritual master. Because this question always comes, Prabhu, how do I know who is a bona fide spiritual master? So many devotees are there, so many rishis and sadhus and saintly persons are there. Whom should I accept as my spiritual master? Simple answer. One who has awakened your original Krishna consciousness. One who has been the cause of your awakening Krishna consciousness. He is your spiritual master. Therefore we pray, Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnana Anjana Shalakaya. Whoever has removed the darkness within your heart. What is the darkness? The darkness of forgetfulness of Krishna. So whoever has removed the darkness and has awakened you, what is that awakening? Awakening to Krishna consciousness. He is your spiritual master. This is the way to understand a spiritual master. So Prabhupada makes an important point. To deliver Krishna, you must be a pure devotee of the Lord. You must carry Krishna. Similarly, Prabhupada is also saying, within the core of our heart, Devaki, it is said, Devaki, having thus been initiated by Vasudeva, became beautiful by carrying Lord Krishna, the original consciousness for everyone, within the core of our heart, just as East becomes beautiful by carrying the rising moon. So Prabhupada says, unless one is initiated by the right person, who always carries within his heart the Supreme Personality of Godhead, this is the Guru's part. He must carry Krishna to deliver Krishna. Okay. So unless one is initiated by the right process, who always carries Krishna, carries within his heart the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one cannot acquire the power to carry the Supreme Godhead. That means for us to receive the power to carry Krishna, we get from the Guru. Otherwise, what is our power to receive Krishna? So initiation gives that power for the disciple to carry Krishna. A pure devotee, as far as he is concerned, because he is described here as Tirtha Bhuta Swayam, he is a place of pilgrimage. He is a purified soul. Santa Sadaiva, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. He's a His eyes is filled with love of Krishna. So he is carrying Krishna. But how do we carry Krishna? How do we get the power to carry Krishna? By initiation. We get the power transferred from the Guru to the disciple to carry Krishna. The initiation is of utmost importance. So that's how Vasudeva initiated Devaki to carry Krishna. And therefore she became very beautiful. Similarly, we see that when somebody is initiated, actually all the dirt within his heart, accumulated for millions of lives, is vanquished, and the devotee becomes bright in Krishna consciousness. Even physically, he becomes very bright. That is also a fact. Physically also becomes very bright. Even in consciousness, he becomes very bright, because all the dirt of material contamination accumulated for millions of lives is washed off by the presence of Krishna, by he also carrying Krishna, because of the grace of the Guru. And stop here, Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai.